This is my audience. My name is Chantel, and the speech that I'm going to be giving today is a persuasive speech, and it's does television watching affect a child's cognitive and physical development? Imagine this scenario for a second. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up, you head towards your child's room, and the bed is empty. So you decide to head towards the family, and all of a sudden, you hear noise and a bunch of giggling, and you don't know what it is. So once you head towards the family room, you discover that your child is already awake. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning, and they're already watching the Saturday morning cartoons. And you ask yourself, is this appropriate, and is it developmentally appropriate for them to be viewing these so much television at so early in the morning or any time throughout the day? Those are valid worries, and whether or not television has an effect on a child's cognitive or development socially or physically has a lot to do with what my paper will be on today. There's a saying that says everything in excess is bad, and as we've discovered and as society shows nowadays, children throughout our society are becoming more and more obese and desensitized towards violence because of all of the television that they're watching. In order to help our children lead healthy lives, we have to minimize the time that children spend in front of the television so that they will not be in jeopardy of obesity, lacking social interaction skills, and having too much exposure to violence and inappropriate program content. As stated by Gavin, TV and other electronic media can get in the way of exploring, playing, and interacting with parents and others, which encourages learning and healthy physical and social development. As kids get older, too much screen time can interfere with activities such as being physically active, reading, doing homework, playing with friends, and spending time with family. A child's physical development is strongly hindered due to the numerous amounts of time that they spend watching television. The act of sitting in front of a television and, clicking on the remote and changing channels and raising the volume is as physically active as children are getting nowadays. It has become such a problem, the obesity, and the fact that children are only playing video games and dealing with electronic media, that companies like Nintendo have developed games such as the Wii to get kids active and moving while they're watching TV. It's not a bad concept. The only problem with it is that children are not in the sunshine and they're not outdoors. They're still in front of a television screen. Kaufman states, Americans are getting fatter. The modern lifestyle of computer screens, video games, and television is resulting in Americans not exercising and eating poorly. Though computers and video games certainly have an effect on diet and lack of exercise, no medium is more widespread throughout the United States than television. Our generation revolves around digital and electronic medias for virtually every act of our daily lives. We depend on the medium for our survival, but that survival is coming at the cost of the health and the development and growth of our children. With its colorful images and ability to instantly gratify the desires of the viewers, with hundreds of channels available, the television is a hard competition to beat. And what's happening is that more and more families are no longer playing board games and having family events because all the children want to do is watch TV. So SpongeBob is being substituted for Monopoly and things like that. Children in our society are trading books in for TV time and thus are becoming more illiterate and inarticulate as time goes by. In an article reviewed by Van Voorhees, it states, watching TV may take the place of social interaction with friends and family, depriving children of sharing ideas and feelings with others, and preventing parents from learning more about their kids. TV may take the place of reading in a child's day, which may contribute to poor school performance and delay literacy. In the article, How Television Images Affect Children, Kaufman quotes Dr. Benjamin Spock, which I found this interesting because I'm going to be a teacher myself. And it states, a nursery school teacher told me, her children were crudely bopping each other more than previously without provocation. When she remonstrated with them, they would protest. But that's what the Three Stooges do. This attitude did not signify a serious undermining of character, but it certainly showed me that watching violence can lower a child's standards of behavior. That is just one of the many examples of how children are being conditioned nowadays with programs and television advertising and even commercials. The only problem is, sadly, they don't have any age appropriate television commercials. So a child could be watching something on the Animal Planet, and then something inappropriate content will appear on the screen. And while now most of the broadcasting programs, they let you know what the TV rating is, they haven't done that. It hasn't extended towards commercials yet. So sometimes kids will view things, and even I have seen TV shows where they're playing a regular kids movie, and all of a sudden you'll see a commercial that it leaves me baffled that kids are able to see that. Violence on television is making the bullies tougher and making the victims even more scared, and is sending a mixed message to children because they don't understand what's right and wrong or what is socially and morally acceptable. According to Gavin, many violent acts are perpetuated by the good guys whom kids have been taught to emulate. Even though kids are taught by their parents that it's not right to hit, television says it's okay to bite, hit, or kick if you're the good guy. This can lead to confusion when kids try to understand the difference between right and wrong. And even the bad guys on TV aren't always held responsible or punished for their actions. Young kids are particularly frightened by scary and violent images. Simply telling kids that those images aren't real won't console them because they can't yet distinguish between fantasy and reality, which will cause behavior problems, nightmares, and difficulty sleeping due to the media violence. So in conclusion, while it's difficult for me or anyone to, it's unrealistic for us to expect that children will not be watching television, there are things that parents can do, like limiting the time that children watch TV or making the television watching a reward. It's not something that the kids get home and they know that they can watch TV, but yet they're rewarded for it, and they get it if they do their homework or if they've behaved well. So it's not something that they are expecting. And instead, when they can't watch TV, they will no longer get home looking for it, and instead will begin to play other games and read books and do other things that kids should be doing, or being more physically active. So that's it. I hope that I've persuaded you to at least change your mind somewhat in some ways, to spend more time with children and find other things for them to do other than watching television. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the speech.